I've tried every strategy ever. Every strategy you could think of, and this is the best one ever. So in this video, I'm going to be explaining the strategy that I use to make $51,000 last month. I'm going to explain the strategy, how to execute it, everything you need to know about it, and then you can also start replicating it because it's very simple. So let's waste no time, let's begin. So first, here are my broker statements. So this one's from 2023. You can see I turned 13K into 480 by the end of the year. And this one's from 2024. You can see I turned 480K into 1.2 million. Now it's 2025. We're like almost halfway into it. Obviously it's gone up. So what's the agenda for today's video? So the first thing I'll talk about is what losing over $150,000 taught me. Then we're going to go over exactly how to execute the $50,000 a month strategy I'm talking about perfectly. Then we're going to go over a real $8,000 trade example. And lastly, I'll tell you exactly how you can copy this to a T. So let's begin. Before that, obviously, quick heads up. I'm not a financial advisor. You should do your research before investing because it is risky. So let's talk about what losing over $150,000 taught me. So here are some screenshots of some of the stupid trades that I've made. But mistakes can be made, but the best things you can do from a mistake is learn from them. So what are some of the lessons that I've learned? The first thing I learned is you need a strategy. This sounds obvious, but most of you guys do not have a strategy. You know complex words, you know stuff like ICT and bank inverse and all this stuff, but you don't have a strategy, right? Forget all the complexities, forget like trying to sound smart. You genuinely need a strategy, right? Otherwise you're gonna start losing thousands of dollars a day like I did. The second thing I learned is you cannot forget risk management. Nowadays, my risk management is pretty good. Before, I had no risk management. You can see over here in this trade, I lost about 20%. Over here, I don't even want to know how much I lost. So risk management is super important. You cannot forget about it. The third thing I learned is that FOMO does not work long term. I said long term because it could work short term. Frankly, it really could. But long term, it does not work. So your strategy cannot be FOMO. And the last thing is consistency, because none of this makes a difference if you're not consistent. If you trade once a week, if you trade whenever you feel like it, it's not going to make a difference. So you need to be consistent. So before that, quick heads up, I have a free trading course. It includes multiple sections. I talk about what are gappers, like the strategy. I talk about entry, exit. There's also a gift inside for you. So click the first link in the description to go check out the free trading course. So now let's talk about how to execute the $50,000 per month strategy. So you can do it, copy it, do the exact same thing. So let's talk about this pattern to the left. This is the strategy that I trade every single day. So we have to talk about a few things. We can see a stock chart going up, but there's more to it, right? The first thing I want you to notice is this black line over here. This black line is going to be super important because this is literally the strategy, right? So you can see that first what happens is the stock price goes up. So stock moves up, and you can see at this line, it starts to go back down. Now you might ask, why is it going back down? The reason it's going back down is because this black line over here is called resistance. The stock tried going above the black line, it failed, so it went back down. This line would be called resistance, right? Then the stock went down, and then it found support at this line over here. So this level over here we can call support, all right? Then the stock went back up, and as it was going back up, the level it previously found resistance over here, it doesn't find resistance anymore. It blasted through that level and went up. Now instead it finds resistance at this level because you can see it tried going above it, it couldn't. Then what it did was it went down to the previous level that it initially found resistance over here, and it got bought up, started going back up. So this level, so you can see this line over here, first it was resistance and then it became support. So the whole strategy is we need to find small cap, fast moving stocks, and we need to buy them at support for the next move up. So the whole strategy is buying the stock over here at this level over here so that it goes up and we can start selling over here. That's the whole strategy. And you can see here are some wins from the community because it's really simple and I'm not reinventing the wheel. I'm not inventing anything new. It's pretty simple. Let's get into the specifics. So these are some of like examples of my entries and exits. These are some real trades. So you can see this line over here is what we're going to call support. So I've identified the support level. The stock opened, it went down, it went back up, and you can see right as it went down to my support level, that's when I bought it. I bought it right over here. Then the stock ended up going up and up and up and up, and when it hit this level, I decided to sell. That's my profit. Same thing on this trade. The support level I've outlined on this level. The stock opened, it went sharply down, that's when I bought, and then boom, it went over here, I sold, simple. Same thing over here. I've identified the support level to be this line over here. Stock opened, it went down near my support level. I bought over here, stock went up, sold, boom. Super easy. So let's talk about the stocks that I trade with this strategy, because I don't trade stocks like Apple and Nvidia and all these other stocks. I trade small cap, small float stocks with catalyst. This is the big distinction. And I trade gappers. Now gappers is this. You can see on the right, you can see a picture of a daily chart, right? So you can see the stock was slowly on a downtrend. Then one day the stock closed over here and the next day it opened over here. So you can see overnight it went up this much and the next morning it opened over here. Now this happens for multiple reasons, but the main reason is a catalyst, right? Most of the time they release news. So the company releases news, they say, okay, our business is very successful, or we just secured a deal or whatever, and then the stock goes up overnight, right? And these happen every single day. And the reason we trade them is because they're extremely volatile. They can go up and down very quickly, and all you need to do is just capture a tiny move, and that's your money done for the day. That's your profit done for the day. That's it. So now let's talk about the 4 steps that I use every single day to find these stocks and trade them profitably. So let's go through step number 1. Step 1 is to find a stock screener. I use the one on TradingView by default. You can use whatever you want. The main thing you need to remember is that you need a minimum of a 20% gap. So if we see the screener over here, you can see on the left I have the tickers. All of them are listed over here. Then I have the descriptions, the name of the company, and then I have the gap. So the gap percentage, like I said, minimum we need 20%, and max doesn't matter. They can be as high as possible. But the minimum we need is 20% because I've realized if a stock is gapping like 5%, it's not going to perform well when the market opens. You need at least 20% for things to get volatile, right? So once you have a screen like this, you're good to go. You can move on to step 2. Step 2 is to watch list. So we're not going to trade all of these stocks. We're only going to trade one of them. So we need to one by one go through all these stocks and be like, okay, you know what? This one I don't like. This one I don't like either. This one I don't like either. But you know what? This one on the top I like. So we have to go through them step by step and find the ones that we like. And there's a couple things you can do to find the one that you like. The first one is it requires high volume in pre-market. It also has to be small float and it has to have a support level. So if we look at a picture of this, you can see the stock has a small float. I've confirmed that. You can see that there is a lot of volume on the stock, a lot, right? And you can see there's a support level. So you can see I've put the support line over here because this is where the stock found resistance, then I eventually found support. And now you can see I'm waiting for the stock to open, hit the support, and then I buy and then I sell, right? That's the whole idea. Very simple. Step number 3 is obviously to buy. So we will only buy the stock when it confirms our support area. We are never going to be buying it as soon as market opens. Because let's say a stock goes up pre-market, right? And let's say the market opens at this level over here. Buying it at market open is a stupid idea because you don't know where it's going to go. It could go directly up, it could go directly down, it could go sideways. We need to find a support level like this one, for example. We need to wait for the stock to go down to our support level. Then we buy. Then when it bounces back up, that's when we sell. We never buy over here because we don't know what's going to happen. It can go up, down, up, sideways. We don't know what's going to happen. So on this stock in particular, that's exactly what happened. I put the support level there, stock opened, it bounced down to my support level, and as it was going back up, this is exactly where I bought. Simple as that. I didn't buy as soon as market opened. I didn't do any of that stuff. I waited for the stock to go down. When it touched my support level, I saw a bunch of volume coming in to support it. That's when I entered. And this is the setup that I trade every single day. Now let's talk about the exit because this is also very important. There's a couple of reasons you should sell. I'm going to go through VWAP because this was the one that I used in this case, but there's many different other reasons that you can sell. And the other thing to keep in mind, like I said about risk management at the beginning, is you need to keep your losses as small as possible. My losses used to be 20%. I would buy a stock over here, it would dip down 20%, I would still be holding, right? You cannot do that because it can wreck your account. You need to realize, okay, the stock is down like 7%. It shows no signs of going back up. I'm going to take the L right now. So the only loss you make is like 7%, right? Not like a massive 20% loss. So always keep your losses as small as possible. Remember that. Me personally, it's like a 7% max. If I'm down 7%, I just sell. So for this stock in particular, you can see I bought over here. The stock went up. This line, this yellow line is VWAP. We wait for the stock to go up. It goes back down a little bit. Then it goes back up. And as soon as it goes to VWAP, that's exactly when I sell. And this right over here is my profit. I repeat this every single day. So now let's go through a real $8,000 trade example. So you can see the chart. Now I've identified the stock pre-market. You can see there's a lot of volume. It's small float, small market cap, all that good stuff. And I've identified the support level over here. All I'm going to do now is I'm going to play it step by step on the replay mode. And we're going to wait for this to get close to our support level. Once it hits our support level and we can see volume coming in, I'm going to buy. So let's go. So let's go to the first minute. First minute, we can see that it goes up a little bit, goes down a little bit. it's not near my support, so I'm not going to be touching it. Most rookies will be buying it right now, which is stupid. Do not do that. Second minute, let's see what happens. It goes down, it touches my support level. I see a bunch of volume coming in, so I'm very close to buying here. All I need is a little bit more confirmation, and then I'll enter. Let's see what happens the next minute. Next minute, it goes down a bit, goes up a bit, and I'm like, perfect, volume is coming in. Let's pull the trigger. And so I buy right over here, right? Let's go forward a few minutes. It goes up again, it goes up again. Right now, my target is set at VWAP, which is this line over here. So usually that's my target, so I'm not gonna sell until it reaches it, but let's see what happens in this case. Stock continues going down, then it goes up a little bit, then it goes up, and then eventually breaks through VWAP, and once it breaks through VWAP, I sell for a quick 14% gain, and I made $8,000 from this trade. I literally do this every single day. I get down, I select the pre-market charts, find the ones that I want, make the support level, wait for them to reach it. When market opens, buy and then sell. This is what we do every single day. If you guys want to see the whole trade review where I explain my in and out and all the other stocks that day, you can see the full trade review in the Draco room. And while I'm at it, let me show you guys what's inside the Draco room. So this is the community, the Draco room. You can see people are winning every single day. Johnny made $338, Ashley made $457, Taz made $502, Mike made $293, he made $403. People are winning like every single day from the same setup. It's so profitable. When you join the community, you also get a free course inside, you get an FAQ section, and you get a watch list section. In my watch list section, I literally tell you guys the stocks that I'm going to be watching with the support levels. You can see over here, I said the stock, the ticker, I told you the support level, stock, support level, stock, support level. I tell you guys this every single day before market opens. You also get access to all of my trade reviews. So every single trade that I make a video recapping it. I have some live trades in there as well. So this is really, really good to study from. I think there's over 100 videos in there now, so it's super useful. So if you guys do want to join the community, email me at this email on screen right now, and I'll try to get you a spot inside. I am going to be closing the group pretty soon to just focus on the members inside. So if you do want to get in, email me at this email and I'll try to get you a spot inside. If you guys want to watch a video where I explain the boring trading strategy that's made me over $1.5 million, it's a full guide, it explains everything, click the video that just popped up. As always guys, subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff, and don't forget to get the free course, first link in the description. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.